we were to talk about like Arteta's mentality, and that comes from, I believe it's the match day against Man City that they had, and the fact that Eze was benched for that game. And again, we saw him do the same thing during, I believe it's the Liverpool game, yeah. And so what I'm thinking is, beyond his mentality, we know he's a top coach. No, there's no doubt about that. But what I'm trying to ask is, do you think if Guardiola or even Klopp was managing this Arsenal team, would they have already won the league? Given the last 2 seasons of Manchester number 2 and number 2, during these seasons, do you think if they were under a Guardiola or a Klopp, they would have already won the league?
Okay, Klopp had how many years at Liverpool? 8? 7 or 8?
7.
8. 7.
Yeah.
So that squad was made in his image completely. Guardiola has 10 plus now, right?
Yeah.
So that squad is also made in his own image completely, and he reached the peak of a Guardiola team when they won the treble. Yeah. So Klopp and Pep were perfect in their approach to games. Almost perfect, to say, man. Nobody's perfect anyway. And they've met this Arsenal several times. Yeah, in different competitions, they've met this same Arsenal. Guardiola has won more versus Arsenal, this same Arsenal, albeit, they were a stronger machine before this season. But this season, Nezasema Arsenal are stronger when you pit them against all other teams. They are stronger. All other teams are weaker. It's not that they are the best team now. It's just that they are the strongest and most stable team now as compared to all other teams. Because Unangalia Liverpool, they have their own struggles of trying to gel a completely different 11 altogether. Okay. Ukiangalia spine yao ni spine imechezea Klopp. Yes, na imechezea Arne Slot, na imeshinda ligi na Arne Slot. But spine yao from keeper ako on and off, ni start and stop. It's not the same Alisson we've always seen. And now Alisson is not 100%. Ukiingia defense, Van Dijk, bro, he's suspect in his defending recently. Hata last season bado Van Dijk alikuwa a very funny defender. Mimi sijui watu walikuwa wanaona nini. Mimi naona ni kama Konate alikuwa anamsaidia. I think Konate was better in defense and helped Van Dijk out more than people actually give Konate credit for. It's not Van Dijk's brilliance. It's more of Konate's brilliance next to him. The same with Matip's brilliance next to Van Dijk. And the same with Joe Gomez's brilliance next to Van Dijk. You understand? So yeah. Van Dijk has always been a very good defender. After the injury where he was kicked in the knee by, was it Everton? It was a Merseyside derby. Keeper and Alimumiza, is it? Yes. Pickford kicked him in the knee, was never given a penalty, and he got that bloody injury. It was bad and killed his momentum completely. So Liverpool have their own struggles. City have also their own struggles because they've cleaned out the locker room and started afresh kinda, and they're being hampered by injuries left, right, and center. They are one of their best creative players in this kid they got from France, the one who wants to kill United. What's his name? Shutty hell. Why am I forgetting this? Ryan Cherky. Cherky is on his day a perfect midfielder, bro. That man can run a show the whole game. He can run a whole game. If you put him next to Foden, Haaland is going to feed off that creativity it's adi ligi ishe. So they're also going through their own struggles. Rodri injuries. They are having to place a player there that is, again, not proven completely in the Premier League. The number 6 we talked about last episode. So they're also trying. Yeah. They're also trying to play Reinders as well. Reinders is more of a tempo controller type of footballer, and in the Premier League he is not going to be given that much time in all those big games, and in other games where the other games that are banana skin games for City, like the Wolves of the league and the Brentfords of the league, although they beat Brentford like kids. They did not beat them like kids. Which team did they beat? Was it? There's a team they beat 5, Burnley. Yeah, so City are also going through some very fun issues. Their goalkeeping situation was sorted, but now their defensive issues are still there. John Stones is always injured. Rodri now, their spine is looking shaky. Ruben Diaz was not 100 when the league started. Their striking was lacking in... there was no creativity behind the striker when KDB left and Ryan Cherky got an injury. Then you have Savinho, who was almost going to Spurs, then almost going to I don't know which other team, then still remained, signed a new contract, I believe. So they're still undergoing very funny issues. Then you have Chelsea. Chelsea is still becoming Chelsea again. I don't know what happens to Chelsea every season.
But
they show promise, then they go off the boil a bit, then they show promise again.
Yeah.
So Arsenal are the main team that has been building on already set foundations, right? Because they have added to an already strong spine by adding 2 defensive midfielders. They have lost 2 defensive midfielders and added 2 defensive midfielders. One is hampered by injury, but the other one is a controller next to Rice. Rice is being given license to go up and down as a box-to-box now, as he was when he was next to Partey and when he was next to Jorginho in some games. Their defense is always the same every now and again, although they always get maybe 1 or 2 very small niggling issues, but they will always be a set 4, like a very proper, strong back 4. And they've also added to that back 4 by losing 1 defender and adding 2. So they added 2 very good defenders, young defenders. They still have a very good keeper. Substitute keeper is also very good. Kepa. I always believe Kepa is a good keeper. Bro, Kepa is a good keeper. Last season, Kepa in Bournemouth was crazy. He was good. He was setting up stats for days. He was making saves, starting off plays from deep. His distribution was good. So having him as a sub is also good because he has a very good mentality as well. He's a strong character mentally, and he also is given a very good chance in fighting for a number versus a keeper that is from his own country. So yeah, it's good. Defensively, they're perfect. I don't think there's any other team that is more defensively sound than Arsenal right now.
It's true.
Their attack has been bolstered as well. They've lost. They lost who? They lost Odegaard, but they have Eze. They lost Saka for a minute. They had Madueke. They lost Martinelli for a minute. They had Eze deputizing on that side. They have this other Belgian guy, Trossard, playing in that side. The same Trossard that was playing very well in Brighton is still the same Trossard that is playing well now. And he's comfortable coming off the bench. He's comfortable starting. He's well-rounded. They lost Havertz, but they now have a goal machine in this new striker they have.
I almost feel like you're trying to say that it's sort of like the best squad in the league, which is very true, right?
Yeah, it is. It is actually the best squad.
What I'm asking, rather, or Keniko, more curious about, do you think the only weakness that Arsenal has is Arteta?
Now, the mentality starts from the coach. Now, Arteta has, for me personally, I always believe Arteta has never had a system. He just knows how to coach players as per their position. But he doesn't have a set system. He adapts in games. Every single game he adapts. Because you can't say he plays wing play football. Okay, he kind of plays wing play, but you look at his best attacking stats. They're coming from the wing, yes, but then they're creating for an non-existent player, which is a striker, which they haven't got. They haven't gotten a striker in a while. I don't know. I've never really understood Arteta's system. I don't know. I might be wrong. I might be way off the mark on this, but I've never believed Arteta has a system. I just believe he is a very good manager, very good coach in that he has coached players to be very good in their positions, and he has chosen players to be very good in very good players in their positions, like masters of their position, and he knows which player he wants for a specific position, right? For counter attack, he needs the left winger to be quick, to react quick. He needs to be very fast. He needs to be a very good scorer in one-on-one situations. That is what Trossard was giving him. That is what Martinelli is giving him. For his right wing, he needs a creator. He needs a dribbler. That is why he has a Madueke. That is why he has Saka. For his number 10, he needs a player that can thread through the eye of the needle, can thread through rest defenses. So he has Eze now, and he has Odegaard, of which Odegaard is injured now. For his box-to-box player, he needs one that can scan the pitch and can break play, which is what Rice is doing for him. And for his number 6, he wants a player that can dictate the tempo of the game from deep. That is why he had Jorginho, but because Jorginho was always maybe injured or not really built for the fast pace of the game that Arteta wants to play, now he got a Zubimendi who is starting attacks from deep, and he's also venturing forward, leaving Rice to cover for him in the back. So Arteta's mentality is the one thing that I always question. Is he the right fit for that team to start winning trophies? I don't know. Arsenal look like the real deal this season. The striker is not really scoring much, to be honest. He has what, 3 goals in those games?
Yeah, in 7 games. And that's not
in
just in the Premier League.
Yeah, 3 goals and 1 is a penalty. So he has 2 non-penalty goals. And people are comparing him to Sesko. If Arsenal could have gotten Sesko instead of Gyökeres, Sesko could have more goals. I stand on that. I will stand on that hill and die on that hill. To be honest, they should have spent that money buying Sesko, to be honest.
I definitely agree. The more I'm saying Gyökeres play, I do feel like it's either he's not a good fit, or even if he will score goals, he won't be their best player or a difference maker of some sort. And the reason we're even talking about like Arteta's mentality is, of the 7 games, he doesn't have a great record against like the top 6. This season already, I mean, when killer game is against Man City and Liverpool. Okay, won against United, but again, we know how United played in that game, so it wasn't also like a clear-cut win for Arsenal. So potentially they would have dropped. Maybe that would have been a draw. They wouldn't have won like 3 of the against the top 6. And even United is not a top 6 right now. But if you consider that and look at how previous champions have done, for instance, last season against the top 6, I think Liverpool only lost 9 points. Arsenal have already lost 5 points against the top 6. You go back to another season, Man City, I think Man City the most they've lost against top 6 teams and still won was like 15 points. That's the last season, and your season yenye walikuwa very close with Arsenal literally. So what I'm asking is, if that trend continues for Arteta, do you think up on where he loses the league from? Because I'm pretty sure Man City, like you said earlier, they will still wipe out these small teams. They might struggle, yes, or they won't play as brilliant, but will still win against these small teams. and they'll play brilliantly when they play against the Arsenals. So is this where Arsenal is going to lose the league from? Is this where Arsenal fans should probably be worried? Amma, what do you think? Do you think there's a top team that Arsenal can comfortably beat right now?
Yeah. They should. That's the one point they should really worry about. Yeah, that's true. Because I was looking at their stats the past, since 23-24 season.
Okay.
Arsenal have been progressively going, have been progressively improving in their defensive game. However, they have reduced on their output in terms of attacking prowess and their attack, their attack goals. Last season, 22-23. No, is it 22-23 season? For me, was the best Arsenal season. Yes, they came close. They pushed City all the way to the end. Yes. In the 23-24 season, they pushed City all the way to the end. Yeah. Yes. But for me, attacking wise, Arsenal was the best team 22-23. Because, bro, they were wiping out everyone. The small teams, yes, the small teams came back to bite them afterwards. In like that period between March and April, they drew very silly games. They lost very silly games. Drawing versus Southampton, and I don't know, Southampton were going down. Yeah. A draw or loss versus West Ham. Very funny games they lost and drew. That shouldn't have happened. Then City had Gundogan, and Gundogan, late March, April, Gundogan was the best player in the league by a mile. So Arteta's mentality should be now centered on don't lose versus the big teams, yes, but wipe out all these other small teams. Get as many clean sheets as possible. Get more goals. The most goals in a game versus a small team. Funny enough is Arsenal have only scored more than twice in one game, I think, this season only. Is it?
Yes. I think
versus Leeds, right?
Yeah, versus Leeds, that was like 5-0. Also versus Forest, they had a 3-0 win, I believe.
Okay, 3. So 2 games out of 7, they've only scored more than 2 goals. Mm-hmm. And in most of those games, they've conceded versus City, versus Liverpool, conceded.
That's a good thing actually about them. They've only conceded 3 goals this season.
Yeah, they've conceded only 3 goals.
Yeah.
Well, another thing is they're not really scoring like the 5s, the 3s and the 5s a lot. Yeah. That is where now, when you look at the Cities and the Liverpools, that is where now they will beat Arsenal. Sure. Because the coaches in Liverpool, for example, the coach at Liverpool was Klopp. Klopp was the type of coach where, bro, I don't care if they score. Just put 5 past. Just score 2 more than them. You understand? Like Klopp will concede 1 and he will score 4. Klopp will concede 2, will score 5. He doesn't care. The same as Pep. Pep will tell you, keep on scoring. I remember we talked in a previous episode where we said Guardiola was on Haaland's case, like he was scolding him, losing out on a chance. And in that game, Haaland had already 2 goals and they were 4-0. I don't know, was it 4 or 5 goals?
Yeah.
And Haaland had already 2 goals in that game. And he's still scolding him, and it's halftime. You think like he would be comfortable playing the 3-0 lead. Okay, fine. Let's relax. No, because he knows in that league, it's either you beat your next opponent, you beat them by a mile. You don't give them a chance to come back, because goals at one point will be the deciding factor in who goes home with the trophy and who goes home crying. You understand?
The fact that you actually say that, sorry. The fact that you say that is almost, it does open up something that on paper, if you show me on paper Arsenal's front 3 and their substitutes, show me Man City's front 3, show me Liverpool's front 3, I don't think I'll immediately choose Arsenal's front 3 as the best, in as much as they do have one of the best defenses, one of the best midfields. So yes, that's definitely a point they can improve, even though they are doing well, because I'm seeing they've scored 14 goals this season. Only Man City has scored more, and Liverpool has just scored less, just 13, and Arsenal 14. But definitely, I don't think they have such an attractive attacking lineup. But that feels disrespectful to say, given Saka is there. What do you think about Saka? Do you think Saka would make a difference in a team like United? Do you really think
Saka would make a difference in any team, bro? Any team. Saka is not that type of player. It's not the type of player where he will, again, comes back to the point where I said, I don't believe Arteta is a system coach. Arteta is a man manager. He's a proper man manager. So he will coach a team of 11 that are very good in their positions for them to win games. However, for him to now graduate to being a system coach, that's when now he will start winning trophies. I will always say, bro, I don't believe Arteta has a system. That's why he wins games. He doesn't win titles, because titles will demand that you change something somewhere. And when you see him going behind in a game, he just throws the kitchen sink at a game. Like, guys, just attack. You understand?
Yeah.
And tells the defense, do not get countered, but attack. You will not see him do a very an out of the box type of substitute. Like, you won't see him think this is a very, very heavy rest defense. What can I change? You will never see him make a very, like, an informed, proper substitution. He always has the same substitution every game. Even though that substitution was unwarranted, he will still make the same one. Like, Martinelli, all games will always come in. Merino, the same. But when a game needs someone like Eze to be in the wing and to play with Odegaard the same game, you won't see him do that. You will see him do something funny. Like, he will call on someone and you start thinking, what the fuck is this coach thinking? You understand?
Yeah.
So, not like Pep. Pep will see, bro, no, this system is not working for you. Get out. Let me bring someone in. And that person will either make an immediate impact, or a certain action from that particular player will lead to another secondary action that will lead to a goal. So Arteta doesn't come on strong to me as a coach that has that mentality to win trophies. He just loves winning games and maintaining his team at the top level, so that Arsenal has always been about, let's make money, let's balance our books, and whichever coach comes in and balances our books, and we don't get negative numbers from our books, it's fine.
Oh, good.
That's why they maintained Wenger. That's why I think some other a friend of mine told me that's why Arteta will never get sacked, even though he doesn't win. And always spends, because he's spent what, $1 billion now?
Yeah, but then the investments keep coming in. So we'll just say it's more of, and I think also they've changed someone at the top. Do you think something that they want to now get over, starting from the first time that they win, or itabaki? I've shared a link. You can check that later on. Okay, scroll change on that article. It allows you to see how different teams are playing differently. And if I look at Arsenal, last season they had a lot of turnovers, meaning they were winning the ball up high. They were, in terms of build-up attack, they had literally 0 long passes, close to 0 point something in regards to the average of the long passes that they had. But then this season it's almost like tripled, meaning Wako sort of very direct, and that only shows they're trying to reach that main person up on Bele. Gyökeres now to fit into Gyökeres, which totally suits Kenya Wanasema. They are always shifting to accommodate different players. So does that mean pia kuchange Arteta itakuwa ngumu, because you don't have a team with a style? For instance, we know if maybe Man City had to move on from Guardiola, they might want someone who will want players who can't possess the ball.
Klopp to
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the good thing about about Arsenal is, even though the coach is not really known for his system, apparently he copies Guardiola, blah blah blah. That's nonsense. If he copies Guardiola, he would be playing at the same type of football, doing the same type of things, going for the same type of player. However, for Arsenal players, the good thing about them and the fact that another coach might not really struggle is because the team that they have players that are specialists in the position they play, and they are technically gifted.
Very.
Yeah. Like Saliba is a good reader of the game. He's not rapid fast, right? But he reads the game properly. He's a very good reader of the game. And complements Gabriel, of which Gabriel is not really truly technically gifted, but Gabriel is covers for that with brute strength. Like he's a massive brutal defender. Bro, that man is a shin kicker. He will kick your shins the whole game. He will frustrate you the whole game. Calafiori is technically gifted as well because he can go forward, he can go back, he can play left sided center back. He can scan the game properly as well. He also defends very well. Okay. Dribblers kind of give him hell a bit, but he's I can liken Calafiori to White in that Calafiori will make a tactical tackle, will do a technical tackle, a technical foul, where he will make it in a zone where it is less dangerous. Like he will kick someone in the opponent's half, because bro, you're not going to go anywhere. He will take that yellow card, and move on, and he will man mark your player properly. Like even if he's beaten, he's still going to be relentless in catching up with the player. So technically he's gifted. Another on this other side you have Timber is good every position. Left sided center back, right sided center back, left back, right back, midfield. Bro, Timber is good even in the wing. I don't understand that. That footballer is good. I hate to say it, but bro, that man is good. He's a good footballer. Yeah,
they have nasty.
Yeah, and
which is very.
He's a tackler. He's a tackler. He's a creator. He's a scorer. He will motivate the team. He's mean looking. He has this kind of like a simple baby face-ish, but looks like a mad assassin. I don't understand. Timber is good. Timber is a very good defender. Like out of all those defenders, I rate Timber the highest. People rate Saliba the highest. I rate Timber the highest. And his sub is Ben White. Bro, Ben White is good. Left-sided center-back, right-sided center-back, right-back. He can play in midfield and covers Saka and Odegaard a whole game. Like Ben White plays, Saka and Odegaard play their best game. Yeah?
He copy. Did they sign him actually?
Pardon?
Did they sign Ilkwa Hincapi, or did they sign him? Did they end up signing him from Leverkusen?
Who?
The defender. Hincapi. Ilkwa Hincapi.
Yeah, Hincapi from Leverkusen. Yeah.
Another centre back. And left back as well.
Yeah, because Arsenal have been hampered by injuries towards the end of the season because of the number of games they play with the same defense. So they need able defenders that can come and deputize for the main defenders and play a very good game. This player they bought from Valencia, this young defender, what's his name? Mosquera, yes. Yeah. Mosquera actually played for Saliba when Saliba was out, bro. Nobody missed Saliba.
True.
I did not even remember that Saliba is not playing because they bought a very young, very good defender, a very able defender. And Saliba thought, because Saliba never had a very proper substitute, he would make funny mistakes in the league. He made very funny mistakes last season, by the way, Saliba. He got a lot of smoke for that, but he covered for it in the majorly for the rest of the season. He made one-off mistakes, which can happen, of course, for any very good defender. It can happen. So they have Mosquera on this one side, and who is very fast, can read the game, yes, but is a very good tackler. So he's kind of similar in likeness to Gabriel, and Hincapi is kind of similar in likeness to Saliba. So Hincapi can read the game, Mosquera can tackle, and Saliba can read the game, and Gabriel can tackle. So they have like-for-like defenders, which is good. And Arteta is coming from the school of thought where Ferguson was the professor, where he said, defense, attack wins you games, defense wins you titles. That is one of the best statements anyone has ever made, because that is heavily true. It is totally true, because when you go to the NFL, the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl basically because of their great defense the whole season.
Yeah.
They had one of the best defenses in a whole season. Their players were just massively good in defense. Nobody was attacking them at all. Same case applies to Arsenal. Arsenal have been building their foundation, and a strong foundation at that, moving forward. They built their strong foundation in the first phase of Arteta's reign, and they built on their midfield again. Then they did not add on their attack, so they waited again, bought more defensive players, added to their midfield again. Then now they have added to their striking and their wing play and their creativity. They have given now every single player that would miss a game and their game would go off has a substitute that now can change the game when the main player is not there.
And the competition
Eze
really
changed the game versus City. Eze changed the game recently, the one they won 2-0 versus West Ham. Eze changed the game as well. Saka, yes, changed the game, but Eze was just massive. So they don't really miss Odegaard that much. They missed Odegaard last year when he got an injury. They missed Saka a lot last year when he got an injury, but they did not miss him as much when Madueke was playing, because Madueke was taking on players, creating, but there was no end product from the striker, because their striker is heavily predictable. It is so sad that Gyökeres is that predictable. My goodness. How is he so easy to defend again? I don't understand. But the thing is, Gyökeres is easy to defend because he doesn't do hold-up play very well. He doesn't do link-up play very well.
He's more of a getting behind type of person, type of striker.
Yeah, he's more of a over-the-top run type of defender. One-on-one defender, he will kill it for any team. So a counter-attacking team will thrive off having Gyökeres more than having him at Arsenal. Arsenal build up play. So he's not a player that will variate his runs by maybe choosing a shorter channel as opposed to taking a longer route to goal, because you will find him in the wing trying to create, and the box will be vacant because not a lot of their players have ventured into the box, because it was either a long pass over, which he had to go and take from the wing so that he can create. So Gyökeres for me would not even have suited Man United. Gyökeres for me would have suited a different team altogether. Gyökeres should have gone to another team altogether. Should have even gone to Italy.
I would have done well in Italy, to be fair.
So for me, if I look at it, when Gyökeres starts converting those chances to goals, the Madueke chances to goals, the Eze chances to goals, the Odegaard is a very good spotter of runs. So if Gyökeres can make those runs in between, the same way Havertz does, the same way a player like Isak does, the same way Ekitike does, you understand? Yeah. It can make Arsenal's gameplay move an extra level up.
True.
But again, Arteta doesn't do a lot of does not make favorable changes to the team for them to thrive properly in using the players that they have.
Yeah, totally agree to that. They do have the best squad in the league at the moment, but perhaps they need something extra in order for them to be a winning team. But now let's talk about a winning team that we are used to, and that's Man City. It's usually so hard to find problems with Man City, you know. But then this season for me is I'm tempted to say, and I brought this up the last episode, this is like the worst Guardiola side, of which you did explain it quite well, put in like this and not the Okay, perfect. As I was saying, like I am tempted to say like this is the worst Guardiola side, and you did explain and shared last episode that it's because these are not sort of like the players Guardiola needs, but it's what the team, or rather Man City as a club, would need, especially given Guehi transitioning right to a different team, new players and all that. Part of that is during that game against Man City against Arsenal, they had the lowest possession ever during Guardiola's tenure, right? And that made me look into their average possessions, right? And this is also the lowest since Guardiola took over, and it's been getting lower and lower because I looked back 8 seasons back, and 8 seasons back they started at 72%, went to 65 the next season. The season after that it went to 64. The season after 64 they had the highest, that was 88%, and that's the season also they had the highest points ever, like not ever, but they had 93 points, scored 99 goals, and then the season after that it dropped. So it made me again now look into the goals for and goals against. Now last season is, in the last 8 years, last season was the least scored goals in a season for Man City. That's 72 goals. They usually reach 90 goals, but last season they had only 72. And not only was it the least scored, they conceded the most goals in the last 8 seasons. They conceded 44 times, and they had the least number of points, 71 points, I think 71 points or so. And this season already, they've conceded 6 times and they've scored 15 times. So Pioni, ratio-wise, it's even worse than last season. So do you think Man City are getting better or are getting worse in every aspect? And if the shift is being made, does it show you like this is Guardiola, or we actually don't even know what happens next when it comes to Man City?
Man City are adapting. That is the best way to put it. Like, they are adapting because the league is unforgiving when you don't adapt. Just ask Amorim. Guardiola is adapting because he knows he doesn't have the same team as the Centurions he had, or the same team as the treble winners that he had. I think now he has a younger team.
Sure,
overall, he has a younger team. That's why even Rodri made the remarks he made. I think, was it after the Champions League or what? That there's an immaturity in that team. I think he made those remarks either in the summer games or in the first game they lost this season. I don't know. I remember, but he made such remarks. They're having a very young team right now, and the old guard have majorly left, and they don't have. Guardiola sometimes is taking more time to, I think, explain his philosophy in a game. So the reason why he's having to defend more right now is because he's taking it a game at a time every single game now. Because he's having, you don't see him being animated as much as when he had the seniors, that is the Gundogan's, the Rodri, the KDB midfield, where he had Bernardo firing, he had Haaland firing, he had Grealish, he had Ake, he had Diaz, Stones, he had Kyle Walker, or not even Kyle Walker. Yeah, Kyle Walker. He had Ederson. You see, so he had a team that was properly in their prime, or beginning of or in the beginning of their prime, and was performing in the at the optimum, the highest peak of a Guardiola system, right? So having to move from a KDB, Rodri, Gundogan midfield to a half-fit 40% Rodri, Reinders, and whoever else is in that midfield, and then having to depend on Foden, who is not always 100% every game. He's good in one, not very good in another. Having to depend on Doku, who either will sit with the ball too long or will release the ball too fast, and he will dribble too much. Yeah, like he has a disjointed team that is taking so much time to gel and so much time to understand his philosophy of tiki-taka football, and having to defend in a game and be a low block so that you can start counter-attacks is becoming the easiest route to wins and becoming the easiest thing to coach. Because counterattacks are basically just defend, bro. And when you get a chance, guys, shoot to the front. Someone will be there. Yeah. So they even had less possession in a United game. Yeah. They had 45%, I think, 45 point something, 48 point something, 0.1, 0.3 Apple.
And I feel like that actually typified what Man City is going to be this season. Very clinical when it comes to their counter attacks. Yes. Only one person is going to benefit from that, of course, Haaland. Because Haaland is one chance, one goal. Yeah. Haaland is not that type of striker who is beautiful on the eye, will create a hurricane-esque type of player. No. Haaland is just, give me the ball, I score, bro. Don't do much. And he had this attitude sahi, ni kama hajali anymore, hajali about Ballon d'Or, hajali anataka tu kuje. Yeah, jali. Haaland is all about that. He's always hungry. That boy is always hungry. I've never seen a hungrier striker. Like, he's mean every season. There's no season he's going off. Like, it's like he's game on every day, game on. It's like he wakes up with audio. Instead of listening to music, he's listening to fans shouting. It's like it is ingrained in him. He's hungry, and every season he's hungry. He has He has 18 goals now, same as Hurricane, I believe. Yeah. And he's not creating as much. So you don't depend on Haaland for anything other than just finishing. If you kill the creativity in his team, you kill his numbers. That's why when you kill City's creativity, when you kill De Bruyne's game, and when you kill the winger's game, you kill Haaland's numbers. Yeah. I saw this funny. That's how United won last season. I saw this funny stat. I can't get it right now, but it said it was comparing Doku and dribbling past over whenever he's facing defenders over 30 years and whenever he's facing defenders younger than 30 years, and it's really, really different. Like, he succeeds more with over 30, and it's barely enough for any time and face a fullback or a defender who is younger than 30. So do you think that huyo ni mtu anaweza kuwa consistently in a team as well, like Guardiola's team, or do they still need to sharpen up hapo mbele, wingers especially? Guardiola's team needs to sharpen up their midfield only. Guardiola is all about the midfield. Every team he has been in, his midfield has always been exemplary, like a perfect midfield. Like, if his midfield is not right, his team is not right. That's why for him to maintain that high press
and for him to maintain that high possession in the opponent's half, because they always have a very high possession rate in the opponent's half.
Yeah.
So for him to maintain that high possession in the opponent's half, he needs a very able midfield that rotates in games and helps him control the tempo of a game, that allows his attacking players to fully go out gung-ho without looking back. That's why he needs a very good 6. That's why he needs a very good 8. That's why he needs very good fullbacks and a very good exceptional centre-back. Just one. He had Diaz, had Fernandinho. He has Rodri before the injuries. He had this guy Kyle Walker. He had Gundogan. All of them had one thing in common: they could control the game.
Yeah.
Like, they know every single channel that is going to be weak or be found as a weak spot by the opponent, and the only times they would get counted would be either one person, very funny, is out of position, poorly placed, then one counter, goal. But generally they would control a game properly. They know how to plug holes, they know how to press, they know how to corner a player to steal the ball, then they fan out, they create options, they know how to make runs, they know how to pull defenders away so that they can create space for the next player, Evo.
Yeah.
So they know how to make primary and secondary runs and third man runs. That is, the primary run is meant to move the defender. Secondary run is meant to get into space to find a running player. And the third man run is now the player that moves into that vacated position, that vacated space. So huyo player watatu ndio yupatikana. Every City attack will always have those 3 phases, in that one player will move the defender, the other player will move into that space to find an attacking player, an attacking run. So City always hunt in like 3 or 4 players. 3 or 4 players, they box you in, they steal the ball, one moves, the other pulls the defender, and the other one now creates. They always do that. It's a Pep thing, and it always starts from the midfield. So Pep's game is all about the midfield. If the midfield is fine, Pep's game is good. He had Thiago Alcantara in Bayern, he had Xabi Alonso in Bayern, and he had Müller in Bayern, and had Lewandowski. And then in the wings he had Ribery. That is Ribery and Robben. So, bro, you have one of the best number 9s who can make very simple channel runs in between defenders, behind defenders, can pull a defender so that he can create space for his attacking number 10, can create space for his wingers, and he had a very fluid team. He also had a very fluid team in Grealish, Haaland, Bernardo Silva, or Mahrez, Haaland, Grealish, then had KDB, had Bernardo Silva, had Rodri. That is a very good mix of talented, quality footballers. Like, they know how to do their job and they do it perfectly, and can play. Yeah, they have experience. Guardiola needs a very good, proper functioning midfield, and he's good to go. His team is generally okay. Like, his defense is not totally 100%, but his defense copes well when his midfield is good. Because when his midfield is good, they maintain that high press to a degree that his defense doesn't even do much. You'll find his defenders just randomly in the box sometimes. Guardiola in the box sometimes. Stones at the edge of the box like a number 6. You'll find Rodri jumping for headers. Funny. You'll find their footballers covering for each other. When one ventures forward, one covers, like that. So he needs a very fluid functioning midfield for his team to be exceptional. So for Pep, it's just a matter of time. Let's see, it's just a matter of time, because when he has Cherki back and has Foden playing the way Foden is playing now, Foden can get into midfield because Bernardo is like not 100%.
Yeah.
So he can have Cherki, Doku, Bernardo, and Foden, where Bernardo will be in midfield playing as a number 8. Rodri being back fully fit is also good for him, and Reinders. So he'll have those either Foden playing number 10, Cherki going to the wing, or Cherki playing 10, Foden wing, Doku wing, Haaland strike. That is a very good mix of attacking players, backed up by a very able midfield that is Reinders and Rodri. So the bad thing or the downside of that is that they're all very young attacking players. So they're prone to mistakes, or they're prone to switching off when the pressure is too much in a game, maybe.
Yeah.
As opposed to now the Centurions he had, or the treble winners he had. So we can wait and see. But for his midfield to be strong enough, for his team to be strong enough, his midfield needs to be like 100.
Okay.
110 even.
Ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Haaland is given to your team for free, but you can pick any other striker if you do not want Haaland. Is there a scenario where you would not want Haaland to lead the line for you? And if that's the case, which other striker are you going for? Because me, I'm thinking if I'm given Kane and Haaland, I might have to think a minute before I make my choice.
Bro, if I'm given Kane or Haaland, I'll take Kane. Why? Because my team plays a specific way. Haaland cannot thrive in that team at all, bro. At all.
So
at
Haaland
all.
is
You see,
he won't suit certain systems. He's not. You wouldn't say. It does feel like wanaitanga freaks of nature. Haaland feels like a freak of nature. Like it doesn't matter wapi atafunga mabao. But with that said, again, I feel like Kane would have a bigger impact on a team compared to Haaland. Yeah?
Yes, yeah. Because Kane brings a bit more on the table based off his years as well, based on how he plays, and based off his technical ability. Haaland is a freak of nature, like you said, perfectly true, like totally true, 100%. However, he is, let's not say one-dimensional, but he is perfect in a team that creates loads of chances. So Haaland will make those runs, those cute runs, the ones that will confuse defenders. He will score goals, like a million goals, if the chances are created in abundance. So Haaland can work very well, perfectly in an Arsenal setup. Haaland can work perfectly in a Liverpool setup. Haaland will work perfectly in a Bayern setup. Haaland will work perfectly in a Xabi Alonso setup right now in Madrid, or in a Xabi Alonso setup in Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Kane will work perfectly in all those teams as well, but he will add a bit more to his game by creating as well.
Yeah.
So he will bring others into the game as well. Haaland, when you remove certain pieces from that puzzle, he doesn't work. But Kane, when you remove certain pieces from a puzzle, he will make the ones that are there to work. Like, even if, like you see Højlund, KDB made a comment recently. He said that he saw Højlund coming deep to get the ball, and he told him, just go forward, I will find you. You saw that comment? Yeah, because Højlund was being taught something totally different as opposed to what he actually should be doing. Højlund was being taught to hold up and create and also score, but he's a young striker. You can't put up hurricane numbers for such a striker. You can't. It's unbearable to even do that. To try and do that. It's either he'll get an injury or one side of that game will suffer. But in this case, all sides of his game suffer, because Højlund is actually a very good striker. Like, he can actually finish. It's just that the creation and the hold-up play doesn't work for him. Like, it doesn't completely, because it takes away from his finishing. Yeah. Højlund is currently thriving right now because for Napoli, they have a very good midfield. same case applies to Haaland. If Haaland goes to Italy, bro, he will eat. Proper eating. Because Italian midfields are very good technically. Like, Italian teams invest a lot in midfielders and defenders. They don't really invest a lot in strikers. Like, Conte won the Scudetto with Inter, and he didn't even have like a properly functioning
strike.
Okay, well, not with Inter, with Napoli. He did not have a properly functioning striking partnership. Like, he had players that get an injury, don't get an injury today, tomorrow gets an injury. Like, he was winning from brute strength in midfield. Like, total brute strength from midfield, and players just pushing forward from midfield. And McTominay thrives from that, like pushing forward from midfield and scoring. He's a very good defensive midfield scorer. So he's a very good player now. He was a good player, of course, for Ten Hag. He was also a very good player. He was also scoring a lot of goals before he left. So Haaland, for me, I would take Harry Kane just because Harry Kane offers more in terms of bringing others into play, making others get into those positions that he leaves vacant. Like, Harry Kane will pull defenders to him and will create space for Olise and Luis, this Liverpool ex-player. He will pull players into deep into midfield and create space. He will also run into those simple channels where he's going to score tap-ins, he's going to score headed goals, he's going to maybe make one dribble and score. Simple. He knows how to finish. Harry Kane is a complete striker. Like, Harry Kane is a white version of Benzema, if you ask me.
Yeah,
like,
that's a good comparison.
If you take Benzema out of Madrid and put him in Bayern and put Harry Kane in that Madrid team that won the Champions League in 2020, you won't even notice the difference in both strikers. In both teams. Like, Benzema would score millions of goals in Bayern, and Harry Kane would score millions of goals in that Real Madrid team, because he would be creating as much as he would be scoring. So for me, I would take Harry Kane just because of the simple how he's aesthetically pleasing as a striker. But Haaland, in terms of if my team creates 1 million chances in a game, bro, give me Haaland any day. I don't even need him to do much. Just run, terrorize defenders, run, bro, run. Whenever you get a chance, run. If you see a defender is slow, run. Bro, if they can't catch you, run. Even if they can catch you, run. He knows how to do that. He knows how to bully defenders. When you bully him, you kind of make him slower in a game. You can kill his game a bit. That is what Gabriel usually does. But Arsenal have a very good functioning midfield. City are not really good creatively right now. They're just wanategemea a lot of this wanategemea star player kama Foden kufanya kitu different, Doku kufanya kitu different, so
right now.
It's like a 1-man, 2-man type of team now, as opposed to when it was a well-oiled machine and Arsenal were building at that point. So Haaland, put him in Arsenal, he's going to score 1 million goals and then some. If you put him in United, he's not going to be 110% good. He's not going to be the Haaland that we know. He's still going to score goals, yes, because United also create. But his game is going to be really, really tested if he gets into that United team, as opposed to if Haaland was in that Ole Gunnar team, Haaland could have had the numbers he's having now, because Ole Gunnar's team was creating millions of chances. Like Cavani, and Cavani was old, scored a lot of goals. Rashford, a lot of goals. Who else?
Green.
Martial, a lot of goals. Greenwood a lot of goals. Like they were all on double figures. So that tells you if Haaland was there and was a younger version, speedy, hungry striker, he would have scored 1,000,001 goals. He would have even taken United up a level that they would have even tried to win the league if he was there. Because the midfield was also okay, because when you have Matic, you have Pogba, and you have Bruno, and they were good. They were actually playing very well. The gap between United and City wouldn't have been 9 to 15 points. It would have been less, or they would have pushed City more in the same vein as Arsenal pushed them recently.
Okay.
So
fair enough. Let's talk about another well-oiled machine team that's leaking. If everything goes well and we beat them, it will be 4 losses in a row, and that's Liverpool. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about generally Liverpool? They're struggling. Their signings are not really performing, especially defensive-wise. Frimpong, Kakes, what a manager Mama call out, I believe, in the last 2 games also. Ekitike has been nice, except from the red card. Isak will be nice, I can tell, because he started so well. That's not so much, but still, I feel like Pep Era more of co-adapt than anything else that's needed, right? So, what would you say about Liverpool struggling right now? We talked about already they're conceding a lot in our last episode, and a nice thing nimeona or rather an interesting start nimeona is they're conceding now more on set pieces than last season. And this season again, almost every other team has already scored like from a set piece, meaning set pieces are a key focus right now. Now, even already a point that they are struggling on. If you look at the past games, what is zilikuwa set pieces? So what do you think about the team generally? Let me quote Carragher. Did you see the Carragher post-match talk after the Champions League match?
Yeah. Apparently it was slots. Something, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they're like a basketball team because it's end to end. There's no control, let me say. There's no control in the game. It's just purely football, purely vibes. His side. So do you think they can win again the title this season, or that's about it?
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to analyze Liverpool now, as
it almost feels like if I look at Liverpool right now, unaona venye tumesema Man City is just a matter of time. It does feel like for Liverpool as well, it's a matter of time, but it's not a matter of time till they get better, but it's a matter of time till they start struggling even more. Because I'm feeling like the more Vardy does not settle, the more pressure for him to settle. The more pressure it is for him, it means also Pia Kina Isak maybe might get in the same loop. And I'm thinking Salah might also be like a ticking time bomb, because for me Salah is, and ego is not a bad thing, but I feel like Salah is the type of player that atacha kufunga sana anze uchoyo. Ama one maybe the shine is no longer on me, it's on other people, and that might also affect his game. So I'm not sure about Liverpool anymore, honestly, if I'm being very honest.
Liverpool right now are suffering from the previous manager's success and the success they have gotten in the past few years. It's funny that we actually talked about this last episode, where we talked about their defensive frailties and how they are conceding more, and it's like is it foreboding? We foreshadowed this particular situation where we actually knew they would start struggling because they have not been like proper gung-ho, proper Liverpool. I watched a video on TikTok the other day, a video made by one of their fans. He actually stated something, and it stuck with me. He talked about Arne Slot trying to manage the game by playing 2 types of systems in the same game over and over again, where he's stuck in the middle. He doesn't know whether to sit deep and counter attack, or high press. You see, with Klopp, it was always gegenpress, high press.
Yeah.
Steal the ball in the opponent's final third or in the opponent's half, and just one or two combinations goal. Last season was more of not really high press. It was more of controlled. It was like a mid-block type of game where they usually played within their midfield, one or two passes, then Salah breaks away, pop, goal. This season, they don't know whether to press or whether to defend. And their fullbacks are not as good defending. They're actually pathetic defenders, their fullbacks. Both fullbacks are pathetic defenders. And their centre-back partnership is also a bit weak because their midfield is also a bit weak as well. And Salah doesn't defend. So a whole wing in itself is weak as fuck. Cucurella actually stated that they planned on how they can attack that particular wing, that right wing, that right wing where Salah is, because Salah doesn't defend. And he made a comment where he said that they usually had Trent, where Trent would just take the ball once there is a break in passage of play from the opponents, take the ball, pass overhead to Salah. Salah runs, has one defender or two defenders, scores. That was basically a lot of what Salah did last season. This season, Salah is not defending. So having to tell Salah now, a person who is now being paid 400,000 per week, having to tell him now, bro, you must start defending. If you don't start defending, I will bench you. Because Chiesa will do the defending. Salah doesn't do defending. Salah doesn't defend. And when you have a whole wing that doesn't do much for you, if the main player in that wing is like non-existent, you basically have a very unbalanced team where one wing has Cody Gakpo, he's defending, he's creating, he's also trying to score. You have Ekitike, but Salah is marked a whole game. It's so easy to mark Salah now. Like nowadays, it's so easy to mark Salah. So people used to talk about Salah is good because of his goals. But for me, when Liverpool let Mane leave by not offering him a new contract, that was where now they lost it completely. Because yes, okay, they got Luis Diaz, fine, but Luis Diaz was not Mane. He tried to give them Mane numbers, but he could never get to those numbers. Salah is still the one-man show, and you're totally right when you say that when he starts now seeing the shine is no longer on him and he needs to do extra for his team to win, he won't do it, because Salah has held that team at ransom for a while now.
Yeah,
and he got
that he has 55. If there's a team with goal-wise and assist-wise that depend on someone, it's Liverpool, because Salah has scored, I think, 55% in the last 2 or 3 seasons. So that's a lot. That's a lot. 55%.
Yeah, that's a lot of goals from one person. And you can also add he's gotten assists as well.
Yeah.
Because last season he was assisting and scoring. So if one player is involved in everything that you do, if that player is no longer functioning in your system, inevitably the coach will take the blame, of course, because now what are you doing to make this player tick? If you can't make this player tick now, I'm sorry, you have to leave. But they're not going to let Arne Slot leave. Van Dijk as well this season is shit, bro. He is pathetic, and everybody is noticing now Van Dijk is not a very good defender. He's a good defender. He's a good defender sometimes, not all the time. Not all the time.
Do you think if Konate, if I saw this fan saying it's becoming more clearer that they should have prioritized getting Guehi over Isak.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, do you feel like with Guehi, would Van Dijk be a bit more solid compared to Konate? Because right now Konate is not
Yes.
at any level compared to what he's done in the past seasons.
Yes, Guehi would have been perfect, like perfect age, perfect profile, proper defender, Englishman, so the English media will not be on him.
True.
And a lot of the English media are not really talking about Liverpool.
They're not.
Because they don't want to air Van Dijk in a bad light. They always say he's the best defender, blah, blah, blah. He's not, bro. He's not. He is not. He's not even a better defender than Diaz, bro. Van Dijk, put him in any other team, Van Dijk is not that fucking good. I am sorry. He is not. He is good. Yes, but in the Dutch team, even in the Dutch team, Van Dijk next to any other defender, he will make a mistake. Nobody will talk, but the other defender, everybody will talk about them. Why? I don't know. His media PR is just crazy. I don't know.
But still, kama ingekuwa Pogba, but sahi hatungekuwa tumepumua hizi game saba.
Hatungekuwa tunalala muda.
True.
Pogba angekuwa analia daily. Like, how do you tell, what do you mean one player costing 120, 130 million has no assist, has no goal?
Even a second assist, I think, like the one that leads up to an assist. I don't think he has any of that. Yeah.
Nothing. It would have been better for them to actually go for Eze than Vets.
He might. It would have been. Let's hope for that, because I feel like if he does, the Premier League will also enjoy watching another amazing player. Honestly, if he does come through and become like a top midfielder, he's very, very good. I just hope. Someone said Liverpool is also not playing towards that strengths, of which he's receiving the ball lesser than he did at Leverkusen, which makes sense, because in Leverkusen he was probably the focal point, but in Liverpool he's most likely not, given they have all these other incredible players around him, Kina Gravenbach, Kina McAllister, Salah and all that. So Liverpool, tunaona this season they might end up not performing as we think they will. Do you think they'll beat United in the next game?
It all depends on the mentality of the day.
I feel like it more depends on United, because if we do manage to score against them, maybe we do probably stand a chance. But if not, we might end up conceding a lot, especially if they play both Ekitike and Isak at the same time. I do want to see that happen at the same time. I don't think so far much as they have maybe as a sub, but I'm interested to see how that works out, them playing both together. It makes me want to just transition to United to now ask you
4-4-2 Liverpool haiwezi wako, bro.
But Ekitike can play as a left, because akicheza Frankfurt wakiwa na ule Marmoush, saa zingine walikuwa na switch na Marmoush. So they might,
inaweza, but in that Liverpool team ukipunguza numbers in midfield unaua hiyo team.
True.
Juu unataka kuniambia how will they cope with the pressing? If United play like they played versus Arsenal, Liverpool doesn't stand a chance, because you're playing versus a pressing machine in Sesko, pressing machine in Cunha, pressing machine in Mount, pressing machine in Bomo, in Ahmad and Bruno. Bro, no. They just stick to the way they are playing. However, if Ekitike plays, Van Dijk can, our defender, Delict will cope well with that.
Yeah.
Now, the only problem I have is the midfield. If we have a midfield that is slow, like a midfield that doesn't have that
as mobile.
Yeah, Aiko is mobile, Aiko is creative. It's a struggle. But if we press from minute one, press proper pressing, like the Chelsea game, like the Arsenal game, a proper pressing, twende Buddha. If we press like that, they don't stand a chance because their wingers don't really defend much. Their midfield will have to struggle between coping with the wing play from United and coping with the striker. And their defense is already hampered by you having two fullbacks who don't know how to defend well, but they know how to attack. But if you're being attacked, you need to defend first so that you can start off your attacks. If you don't know how to start off your attacks, you're going to be finished. So it's a very funny game, but it also it really depends on how United will fare on the day. If they decide, you know what, to be divas and not footballers, will be beaten.